Go.
Okay. Today, my speech is about childhood obesity. The United States has a huge problem. This problem is affecting the entire U.S. population. The problem is creating financial strain on insurance companies and social community. This problem has grown to epidemic proportions in the last 30 years. This problem is straining our healthcare system. This problem is the single biggest preventable health issue of today. This problem is childhood obesity. As an insurance holding member, as we all must now pay, we all have health insurance premiums. These insurance premiums cover the cost of something that sounds so simple like childhood obesity. The dollar value that the medical community has spent and still is spending is out of control. My children and many of your children and or friends have school-aged children that are issued iPads at school now. All of our children are playing video games or watching TV after school, as well as maybe well into the evening. On weekends, you can barely get them to move away from watching games or the game console. I must say, I did not have electronic stuff that the kids have today. When I was growing up, we weren't allowed to have a TV. I can remember spending time at my friend's house just so I could watch TV. I want to show that allowing these generation children to continue on their pathway of electronic usage without some exercise or movement will contribute extensively in the childhood obesity epidemic. Childhood overweightness and obesity has soared in the last 4 decades. We have reached the epidemic level with over 23 million, or 25% of our children and youth overweight, and 11% are obese. So what is considered overweight or obese? Let's look at the terms. According to the Center of Disease Control, the medical definition of overweightness is an excess body weight for a particular height. The height includes fat, muscle, bone, water, or combination of any of these. Obesity is defined as having an excess of body fat alone. The most accurate way to determine the weight of an individual is your BMI. The value that is derived by measuring a person's weight and height and determining the mass of the individual. The BMI value ranges are normal, 18.5 to 25. Overweight is 25 to 30, and obese is anything over 30. Now that we all understand the medical community's considering of overweight and obesity, let's look at some medical issues that come along with this. The health issues that the medical community is seeing now have never been a part of childhood. Most of the health problems that are occurring now were solely an adult concern. The doctors are treating cardiovascular disease such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and pulmonary problems. The young are having joint disorders, sleep apnea, and asthma. Another main occurrence is type 2 diabetes. The overweight or obese child may also have social and psychological issues. This could mean that the child has low self-esteem, depression, learning, and social skill problems. These are chronic conditions that have life-threatening consequences to our children and can follow them into adulthood. We should ask ourselves if there is any issue that makes our children prone to be overweight. And these will be called risk factors. The risk factors are defined as influences that may add to the overweightness or obesity environment. These are genetic, diet, or exercise. Family factors may be that members or families have already been overweight or obese. This creates a higher risk. Children often overeat due to stress and boredom. There are also social economic factors that may play a role. The lower income neighborhoods may have a lack of money that leads to eating poor diet out of a box canned foods that do not spoil easily. These low income areas also lack playgrounds and safe places for children to be outside. These risk factors are many, but by no means a guarantee of overweightness. As parents, teachers, and other children in a child's life, we must fight these risk factors and give our children a fighting chance to live without physical or social constraints. approximately 14 billion and occurs to at least able to pay medical costs. The Medicaid system is overwhelmed in dollar costs. The system is spending 3 times more than private insured child. The dollar value is approximately $3 billion in medical spending, and these dollars costs are continuing to climb out of control. As the single most preventable health issue today, we must find preventative steps to take so that we can slow down and change the future of our young people. The calorie imbalance of intake of food and burning of these calories is a factor that we must change. We need to provide nutritional educational programs to teach how to have a healthy diet. We need healthy meals in our schools. We need to provide healthy snacks when needed in any gathering of children. We need less fast food and more nutritional filled meals. We need to create an environment for our children to learn and be active. In the poor neighborhoods, we need to build bike trails, green parks that can be used to ride bikes and or just walk. We need to find ways to provide fresh, healthy foods for our children. Childhood obesity has soared to the level of 1 out of every 3 children will be overweight or obese. If we do not get busy and get a grip on this preventable health issue, we are going to be raising the first generation of children who will be sicker and die younger than any generation before us.